You know, you've probably seen hundreds, maybe even thousands of birds in your life. But what if I told you there's a huge difference between just looking at a bird and truly seeing it? Today, we're going to unlock a whole new way to observe the world around you, turning a simple glance into a pretty fascinating story.
So, think about it for a second. You see a bird hopping around in the park. Are you just kind of passively looking at it? Or are you actively trying to figure out what it's doing and, more importantly, why? That little shift in perspective, that's where all the magic happens. Because these birds, they have incredibly complex and interesting lives. They're not just, background decoration. They are communicating, they're surviving, they're raising families. And once you start to see the reasons behind their behavior, every single bird becomes a little window into an amazing hidden world. Okay, so our first step on this journey is to go beyond just what a bird looks like and start listening to what it's actually saying. Now, when you're trying to identify a bird, you usually start with these four keys. You look at its size and shape, its color pattern, the shape of its beak, but that fourth one, its song and calls, that's where things get really, really interesting. Because that's not just noise, it's language. So you have to ask, right? Is all that chirping just random sound, or is there a real purpose behind it? And the answer is a definite, resounding yes. They are absolutely trying to say something. We really have to rethink what birdsong is. It's this incredibly sophisticated communication tool. In fact, get this, some birds have such advanced vocal cords, they can sing two different notes at the exact same time, creating these complex harmonies all by themselves. And they use this incredible skill for everything from finding a mate to screaming about danger. So for example, a warning call is usually really sharp and urgent. It's designed to get everyone's attention, like right now. Some species even have different calls for different kinds of threats. A chickadee might change the number of D notes in its call to signal if a predator is big and slow or small and fast. It's amazing. A territorial song, on the other hand, is way more melodic. It's basically a big, clear announcement that says, hey, this is my spot and I'm ready to defend it. Two totally different sounds for two very different and vital messages. Okay, so now that we're listening, let's start looking even closer at what birds are actually doing. Every single action, from digging in the dirt to soaring way up in the sky, has a purpose, and it's all tied to survival. Yeah, every little flutter, every peck at the ground, every flight pattern, it all tells a story. And that story is almost always about one of three fundamental drives. These are the big three: eating, reproducing, and just plain getting around. Pretty much every behavior you're going to see can be traced right back to one of these core needs. Here's a really practical tip you can use anywhere. A bird's beak is basically a specialized tool for whatever it eats. So a sparrow's got that short, thick beak, perfect for cracking open seeds. A white-eye has a really delicate, pointy beak for sipping nectar and grabbing tiny insects. And then you have the crow, with its strong, all-purpose Swiss Army knife of a beak because it eats pretty much anything. The beak tells you exactly what's for dinner. And then, of course, you've got the incredible drama of raising a family. It's this massive undertaking that starts with them meticulously building a nest from whatever they can find. From there, it's just this nonstop cycle of laying eggs, keeping them warm, and then the absolutely relentless job of finding enough food for all those hungry little chicks. It's a true marvel of nature to watch. And this brings us to an absolutely critical point. As observers, our number one job is to do no harm. If you get too close to a nest, you can stress out the parent birds so much that they'll just abandon it, leaving the chicks completely vulnerable. So please, always, always enjoy the spectacle from a respectful distance. But even before the nesting begins, you get the courtship, and oh, this is high drama. To attract a mate, males will perform these brilliant songs or even these elaborate, spectacular dances. I mean, think about the mind-bending displays of a bird of paradise. It's a performance of love and competition, and it's playing out right in front of you. All right, let's zoom out now from the individual bird to look at the bigger picture, their incredible journeys and the complex social lives they lead. So, bird populations are generally split into two types. You've got your resident birds, like sparrows and crows, that pretty much stick around the same area all year. And then you have migratory birds, like swallows and swans, which undertake these epic journeys between their breeding and wintering grounds. And when I say epic, I really mean it. Some of these birds travel thousands of kilometers each way. The Arctic tern, for instance, flies from the Arctic all the way to the Antarctic and back again
every single year. It is one of the most awe-inspiring feats in the entire animal kingdom. And this is one of nature's greatest mysteries, right? How does a tiny bird navigate across continents, often returning to the exact same spot year after year, without a map, without a GPS? How do they do it? Well, scientists believe they use this incredible toolkit of natural abilities. They might be navigating using the sun and the stars. They might actually be able to sense the Earth's magnetic field, like a built-in compass. They rely on these precise internal clocks, and they even use familiar landmarks along their route. It's just an amazing combination of internal and external cues. And they often make these incredible journeys together. When you see a flock of birds, that's not just a random gathering. It's a really sophisticated social strategy. I mean, there's safety in numbers against predators. More eyes means threats get spotted sooner, and more beaks mean food sources get found faster. The coordinated, swirling flight of a starling flock, that's called a murmuration, it's one of the most beautiful examples of this collective intelligence you'll ever see. So we've decoded their language, we've understood their actions, and we've marveled at their journeys. What does this all add up to? Well, it gives you a brand new lens to see the world through. And here's the crucial takeaway. Nothing is random. Every single chirp has a meaning. Every flight has a destination. Every action has a purpose. And once you realize this, birdwatching stops being this passive thing you do, and it becomes an active, rewarding treasure hunt for meaning. And that's really what I want to leave you with. The next time you see a bird, don't just look at it. Observe it. Ask yourself, what is it saying? Where is it going? What's its purpose right now? What story is it telling you? Happy hunting.